Good evening, ma'am. I'm good. And how are you, ma'am?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
And I hope you are staying safe, healthy, and happy.
I'm doing very well. I hope same goes for you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With your permission, may I start the session?
Yes, please, let's go ahead.
A very good evening to one and all present here. My name is Anushka Kishwar. I'm the Content Team Manager at Legal Law Forum. We at LLF endeavors to promote legal education and awareness through various activities such as legal internships, quiz competition, Llf talk shows, webinars, etc. We have successfully conducted such live talk shows on various aspects such as legal, corporate, personality development, and others, which are available at our IGTV. Without further ado, today we have with us Advocate Prachi Pratap ma'am, who is an advocate at Supreme Court of India, and we are here to hear from her on the topic, Women Entrepreneurs in the Future of Work. Ma'am, would you like to give us some insight about the topic?
So yeah, let's begin with it. Would you like to go for a Q&A form, or should I just start whichever way you like it?
We can go with the Q&A, and if you want to give the insight, you can also give it.
Okay, so I'll begin and then we can go on to Q&A. So as an entrepreneur in India for the past, I finished my MBA in 2008, so I've been working here in different fields before I became a full-time lawyer. So I have faced my own share of challenges working as an entrepreneur in India in a foundry section in non-profits, and I do feel so overwhelmed and happy to be here to share my experiences and hope others gain from it too.
Definitely, ma'am. So let's begin with the question answer round. Our first question is, what is the biggest hurdle a woman faces not to be able to join in the workforce?
So I feel there are 3 steps to that. First would be, let's begin immediately, the ones who don't have education to join workforce. That would be the biggest. For more women to come into better employment, they need to have education. Second is safety, whether you are educated joining or you are joining something which doesn't need education, safety is primordial. As a nation, we are not very safe, and that is one big hurdle most women face in joining jobs of their choice, and often they have to compromise and settle for something lesser because commute time might be more, or they don't have proper accommodations, or million others. Forget about posh, I'm just even talking about basic. Posh comes later into play, but all those are hurdles. And the third that I feel as a mother, I notice it is motherhood is also a bigger issue later in life to join or remain in workforce, because we all don't find enough support to continue working as mother. Even say in our profession in law, you're working 7 days a week, you don't have fixed hours, you're working till late, you're working early. So I feel a proper support system is needed, and motherhood is also another hurdle in workforce for women.
Okay, ma'am. So how we should support such women in order to so that they can work in future in their dream jobs?
Right. Yes, absolutely. The way to support would be, first thing, of course, more education has to be provided, and not just education. What needs to be provided other than the basic 12 plus education or graduation is they need to be skill trained to survive into other jobs. See, we are living in a very dynamic economy at the moment because of globalization and online boarding. So I feel more skill development needs to be focused upon. And for working women, of course, the issues of safety has to be addressed not just by families and society, but organizations as well. And motherhood, definitely there should be more cooperative networks of motherhood support systems that need to be in place, not fresh, but other also for mental support also of mothers.
Since, ma'am, you have talked about the skills, so could you enlighten us what skills are required which hinders us and in order to push forward and to explore in the dream jobs?
So skill sets, let's look at the skill sets that I would say is, say for example, like there's the online platform is there and everybody says, oh yeah, you can work online. So online boarding also of women is needed. Besides providing them for basic infrastructure, okay, fine, you have a basic infrastructure of a phone, which almost everybody due to pandemic has, or a new computer setup you have. But women also need to know if they are going to start, say, an e-commerce platform. As a entrepreneur, as a micro entrepreneur, you're trying to sell your things online, you need to be taught how to do it. And I instead of women going on board with Amazon or starting something of on their own, there should be free training set up by governments to help them learn the basic skill sets of how to have your own online website set, how to integrate a payment gateway, how to ensure that you're not being scammed online, or you're not under attack of cybersecurity or falling prey to cybercrime. So those have to be taught, and those are the skills that are needed apart from managerial skills in this area.
True, ma'am. So how can we as an individual as well as the government policies, we can help these women in the sector?
See, to helping these women, what we as individuals can do is we can also start small initiatives of, mentorship, mini mentorship programs that can be done. I'm sure you must be asked by people, also must be getting messages on your Instagram to guide and help. So do I, so do others. So we know there are a lot of other organizations and NGOs which are doing promoting individuals, but more free workshops for this can be organized even at an individual level, or even at a society level, or a colony level, so to say.
Exactly, ma'am. So do you think government initiatives like Dana Shakti scheme, Udyogi scheme, Women in Entrepreneur platform by Niti Aayog have changed the scenario of women participation?
See, these schemes, Dena Shakti and Udyogini and all those other schemes that are for women, these are micro loans which are given to women. I know some are interest free and others have a 0.5% boarding fee, and which is boarding and processing fees, and then there is a 7-year tenure. However, giving money is just one bit of support that is being given, say 50,000 rupee, 1 lakh rupee, 2 lakh rupee micro loan amount. However, after receiving the loan, to set up a business, to start marketing, to manage the business, again these need skill training, which is not being provided at this. Just providing loan is going to circulate money back into the economy. That is a good way, but to make more out of that money, they again need to be trained, because we need to understand a lot of these women who are getting are not even from bigger cities. They lack entrepreneurial skills. They lack e-commerce skills, which is so needed. I mean, I personally, in one of the non-profits, in one of the social enterprises I worked for that I started, I worked with bag manufacturers in a remote village in Andhra Pradesh. But there was a lady who took the initiative of teaching these villagers the skill of getting them on board online platforms. So money will help, giving the scheme will help, provided the training is also provided. Without training, they won't be able to achieve. It will just be money going back into the economy and then written off as bad debt.
Absolutely, ma'am. Without proper guidance, no one can move forward.
Right.
So our next question is, why does India need to push towards the gender equality, and how can we achieve it, since we are living in a patriarchal structure of community?
So that is one issue very close to my heart. Yes, we need to push towards gender equality, especially in the workforce. We are living in major patriarchy and the mindset has not changed. What often happens is that the women in organizations are not given opportunity. Often they are passed over for a man, and women are not even included in mentorship roles in most organizations. So I feel the way to, I'm not saying to dismantle per se, but let's forget about dismantling patriarchy, let's talk about establishing matriarchy also alongside it and making it as two pillars. We need to give more opportunities to women, conscious opportunities to women, to cut out the gender inequality which is there, and that has to be given also by we have to look at not just equality but also equity. It is needed because you have to provide them the proper tools to get ahead.
All right. So do you think the gig economy has any part in encouraging women in work or women entrepreneurs?
Yes, I feel gig economy is really helping women come up. Of course, for those who might not know, it is the exchange of labor for for small task basis. Payment is going to be made upon task. It could be just in India, it is Shadowfax is there, Swiggy, Zomato is there, and last year I read that Swiggy had a paid period time off policy for females for 2 days in a month. I think that is a brilliant initiative to get more women on board. Urban Clap has been an excellent example of gig economy helping women in India. However, of course, the issue of safety remains a major concern again for women in India in general. But gig economy is a brilliant way to encourage more women participation in the economy.
Indeed, ma'am, and more such opportunities are needed in India. So how are Indian organizations dealing with unconscious bias?
See, India Inc. is definitely dealing with unconscious bias where women professionals are not even asked if they're ready to take on high-profile leadership roles. It is just assumed that even if they're qualified, it is just assumed that they won't be able to handle it. So many times when a woman is ready and she might be expecting, say, a promotion or a big opportunity to lead a certain profession, is often passed for a man. Where last year, one of the judges had commented that a lot of women lawyers are passing over the opportunity of joining judgeship because by the time they get to the point of joining judgeship, their children are teenagers who are getting ready to go to college, so they have to also attend to the academic performance of the child. So that is happening not in law, it's happening in every other profession. So that balance has to be provided by the family and the support of the organization. Flexible time, that can be helped.
Yes, I can relate that with you, ma'am. As my mother is also a working person, so I can. So next question we have, how can we support the system to female business owners in our life?
So to support it to female business, women's female entrepreneurs by encouraging them. And we always talk about women supporting women. I feel like all should support women because that is the only way. It is not just you're just supporting the women, you're also supporting a whole economy and a whole ecosystem of homegrown organizations that will come. So one of the best ways is to maybe it can be advertised that a lot of organizations actually do that. It is run by women, so we can make conscious choices of buying from organizations that are wholly run by women. That has to be a conscious choice and advertised, and that is one way of supporting.
Indeed, ma'am. As you have said, when a son is educated, a family is educated. But when a girl is educated, a whole nation is educated. So coming up to our next question, what policies can we put into place to move our organization towards gender equality?
See, the first thing would be to do a gender pay gap analysis study, which is extremely important for all organizations. And in West, it is being followed a lot that first an internal analysis in all organizations have to be done, because often we notice it is not said, but men are paid more and there is that pay inequality stays. So first is to make sure that the pay equality is achieved. Secondly would be to identify how many women are in leadership role. And if there is an imbalance, fix it, because most organizations notice an imbalance. Then the third would be to make the work-life balance a priority, improving work-life balance. In fact, there was a study by the insurance company Zurich which found that their application by women had increased to 16% when they said that, you can work part-time, or there will be flexible time to work, or there will be job sharing. Job sharing is also important. So not only did they see a 16% increase in rise of applications by women, but also men have started to apply more to the insurance sector. So I feel that one way of onboarding more women or increasing would be to say that they have flexibility. Now with UK 4 days work week, that's changing. That's going to be a game changer. And after pandemic, we have seen that work from home works, part-time work, flexible working hours, everything works. So now more than ever before, this is the key takeaway that we have learned from pandemic is more women can work.
Indeed, ma'am. As we have seen last year, like a lot of entrepreneurs, which we haven't heard, they have started growing up, like
Exactly.
Nykaa IPO ones.
Absolutely,
So,
that's perfect example.
yes, ma'am. And they are inspiration for us to be strong, to be chasing our dreams and not to give up.
Right.
I have next question, like as a mother and a working woman, how you balance up both the things?
It was a struggle initially for the first 10 years of my child. I had to take her with me to most of the places. We had a foundry and I had to take her, and after her school I would take her with me to work. I had taken her to meetings. I had taken her first flight out of town, last flight back. I have been in courts when she was sick and I have rushed back to school to attend to her. So I have dealt with it, but I am blessed with a lovely family, and I feel she has grown looking at me, and she has adopted to the fact that my mother works, and so this is how it is. However, I also feel blessed that I am a fourth generation working woman in my family. My mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother were all working women. So somehow, somewhere, there is a work-life balance. But I would also say that there is no such thing as work-life balance. As I was reading recently by Ariana Huffington, that it is actually a myth. There are times I go to bed at 1 and wake up at 5 because it is about prioritizing. So yeah, I think it is, you have to be very dynamic about it, deal with each situation that comes, and find the work-life balance every day.
True, ma'am. And when you were saying all this thing, I was like remembering my mother and all those memories, because my mother is a working, as I've told you, she is currently a judge at Gymnastics Association for rhythmic and so whenever she was also used to do same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So would you like to give us insight about a topic? More
insight about
our topic about women entrepreneurs in work?
So I feel that women entrepreneurship is the next thing which is going to take India by storm, because more and more women are confident thanks to social media, having access to online digital platforms to promote themselves. And but I do feel there needs to be more support system, not support and society support, but also more free workshops and trainings to channelize their energy to the right path, making sure they have focus. I mean, we are blessed that we had the education of getting our MBAs, getting our law degrees, but I also know a lot of women who are extremely talented but lack not just the financial resources but also the guidance. So I feel that more and more, like you are doing so wonderful, you're inviting people to share their knowledge, and I feel more and more women who have achieved a certain stature in society in their work, they should be doing free mentorship. Take people under wing. If everybody starts mentoring one, we have half of the population taken care of.
Indeed, ma'am. So, do you want to say more words about the topic, or any feedback you want to give about?
You can ask me if you anything. I don't think of anything else that I can contribute at the moment.
Okay. So, since a lot of women who want to be an entrepreneur, so how can they start their startup, and what are the main skills they required for the same, especially in the legal profession, if they want to start up there?
So of course, the basic would be to start for anything. First, you go apply for your, first you identify which business or service you want to get into. Do a basic research, and now with online platforms, of course, it's easy to gain the knowledge for that. Apply for your GST certification, and then start and definitely promote your work, whatever it is being promoted via social media. That is the key to get your, see, this is, now we are living in times of free advertising. You don't have to run a newspaper ad, you don't have to put a TV ad, radio ad, or word of mouth. All the word of mouth is on social media, so onboarding is easy that way, and learning and copying patterns is extremely easy. And one thing that I would personally like to share, that I have faced a big challenge in my life, was delegating. In my role as an entrepreneur, I was always very hands-on. I had to be on top of things and manage things. So when I left my entrepreneurial journey and became a full-time lawyer, I realized that automatically I started to delegate, because as lawyers, we delegate work. It is, by default, it happens, you're delegating. And I feel that is one most important thing is like this, to delegate. We need to learn to multiply ourselves, that if I can do X and if another person can do X for me, that's 2X, and that is how it should be. We should be able to focus on this and let it all trickle down, and trust people, they will work. Because the more we delegate, the more hours we get to ourselves to focus on the bigger goals we have. So that's
Indeed.
the thing, yeah.
Just like a chain reaction we need to make. Like,
Absolutely.
you pass the knowledge to me pass the knowledge to someone else, and like this goes on. So that's all I have, ma'am.
Okay, brilliant.
If you really want to share something else with us, you can, related to women entrepreneurs.
That was all that I had to share, actually. I can't think of anything else that I might be. No, nothing else I can think. I did do a talk about how pandemic has affected working women a long time back, and recently we heard our honorable president talking about how pandemic has put the load on working women more, 3 times, he said, because what's happening is they're managing their work, they're managing home, they're managing their children, they're managing family. So the workload has increased. So it's just an humble request to all the men out there, please start helping in the house, in the families, so that women can be also, on an equal platform during the pandemic. Now that our honorable president is saying that they are burdened, there are reports by Forbes and the Economist that women are more burdened during the pandemic. There is actually a concept of recession where the whole pandemic recession is happening, which is affecting women. More women are being kicked out of workforce, and they're voluntarily taking time out of work. So as more and more of us are working from home, I would humbly request everybody to help so that women can also succeed during this time.
Indeed, ma'am. Because in a relationship or anywhere, when a woman can support their family members, and we also wanted that our family members support our dreams, our goals too.
Yes.
Because at the end, she's a human too. She's an individual.
Absolutely, yes.
Because when I say my mother also, she's working for us. So obviously when she has her session, so we also help her out. So that's a responsibility.
Yeah, and your mother must be close to everything that you are doing.
I have to do even more to make her proud one day.
Oh. You will.
Yes, ma'am.
You're already so enterprising.
Thank you, ma'am. So that is all we have for today's session, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us an insightful session, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a pleasure talking to you.
Same here, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, audience, for being a patient listener. And have a great day.